It's Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show with your favorite holistic health coach, Carrie Kay.
Hey everybody, welcome to Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show with your favorite holistic health coach, Carrie Kay. I just would love to introduce my friend that I met in Dallas. I saw her video. It went viral on YouTube. It was all about her dancing with her walker. This is Jill Sheridan Leatherberry, and she is a diver, a professional diver. She is going to talk to us today about this is Health Time and Freedom Stories with the Power of the Patch. And she's going to talk to us today about where she was before this technology and where she is today. Welcome to the show, Jill.
Hey, Carrie Kay. What? Testing. Thank you. Sorry. Gosh, that came up. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're welcome. So, what happened, when you were a little girl, did you always want to be a diver? Did you always want to be in the water?
I grew up in Shadyside, Maryland, a little town outside of Annapolis, Maryland. It's right on the Chesapeake Bay. So I grew up as a water person, and all of us from that town, we were either lifeguards or water skiers or whatever. And so yeah, I was definitely a water girl. My inspiration, though, I think one thing was to never get old. That was one of the things I just thought, if I'm always just the way I am, that means I can't get old because I have to stay like this, active. So yeah, I pretty much was into the water. I became a dive master, though. It was a goal of mine before COVID. So I had a storybook grow up, being told I could be anything I want, do anything I want. And my childhood turned into a great support system for me to be an actor. And I ended up in Los Angeles and I worked that. In fact, funny that our inventor that we're talking about with LifeWave patches and this power of the patch that we're working with, he has a brand new headquarters in Utah that mimics Star Trek. So I thought it was kind of funny that I was on the show, The Next Generation, for two seasons. And then we also know that Suzanne Summers was a fan of the glutathione patch. And I worked on that show too. Just small parts, but still, I'm out there. But anyway, so all of that came into fruition as I had 4 children and kind of retired into be a mom. I became a single mom, and that went a little wacky with no child support. Had to court order move to Scottsdale, Arizona. So my finances were less than desirable for most people, and especially for my kids too. So being a dive master was really interesting goal because it takes money, but I found ways to do it. I felt limited with my finances, and becoming a dive master wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do. There was something called a rescue when you're a master diver at 50 dives. And in order to become a dive master, you have to continue on your education and your lessons. But in that rescue was something interesting. I was doing a rescue with a man in the Lake Pleasant here in Arizona, pulling the man through the water. It was getting shallow. There was lots of jagged rocks. I kind of stumbled on one of the rocks. I cannot drop this poor guy. And I put my right leg foot goes into a hole, and I'm still holding the guy. And then I have to get out of the hole and get him to the beach where there's to apply oxygen or to give oxygen to anyone. The water and oxygen don't mix. So I get him to the beach, and I'm thinking to myself, I have got to pass this. And I just keep going. Anyway, I get home that weekend. Was not a good weekend for me. I felt like I needed to go to the chiropractor a lot, and I did. Didn't seem to resolve too much, especially because COVID came. So with COVID, nobody was seeing anybody. Excuse me. I ended up having a girlfriend call me from another business. There was a few of us involved in this business. It was Carol McDonald, above her daughter, Juliana Coles, and then Peter No. And all of us had been in a different company before. And we were introduced during COVID when the government cut all sources off for us to make a living at the time. These weird little package of patches and said, you know,
Power of the
Peter said,
patch.
I'm just doing this thing. These patches. So we're like, okay, we'll check them out. And Carol says, here, put this on. I'm like, okay. Now I had a lot of pain from my hip. Remember, I haven't had my hip fixed. So guess what? I've worn out my cartilage walking on it. I'm walking incorrectly. Now it's affecting the bone. So, because I don't stop. And I was in a lot of pain. I put this little patch on. Looks like this. And I'm just a one patch wonder girl. So in 10 to 20 minutes, and not everybody does this, I felt like someone poured Dove chocolate through the top of my head and it just coated my body. And I had zero pain. But again, this is just me. Not everybody has anything like this happen. But I know that God wants to get my attention. So we have a little pact. It's like if I'm supposed to do something, I have something happen and it gets drastic. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I've got to call my friends. So I pick up the phone. I call all my people that were in the same business as Carol and Juliana and Peter. And we went down the line saying, we don't really want to do this business, but you got to try this stuff. So it's funny because everyone wanted to try it because we all know each other and trust each other. So we figured that we were then doing the business. We met during COVID and every week and would listen to the webinars from David Schmidt, the owner and the amazing scientist and the downloader of all this information from God. We didn't know what we were doing, but we'd sit and go, hey, did you notice like all this like this weird wet, our skin is nicer? Or did you notice that, hey, I had this spot and it's like gone. You know what? Oh, I have no pain. Oh, that's right. I forgot I had a backache. I haven't had it in like days. So it was going like this.
Right?
And that's how I got in.
Yeah.
We had no clue what we were doing. This was almost, well, it was over 4.5 years ago. It was when the X39 first was introduced to the public, which was really just before, 20-year-old company, though. It's not like they're brand new. They started with something else. David Schmidt was contacted by the government to make something happened in my computer. I'm so sorry. Give me a moment. That's not good. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. Why don't I go ahead and show this
Okay.
video of you?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
That's
a great idea because suddenly I'm going.
This video went viral. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see.
Perfect timing. We don't have any sound.
Well, they can hear it.
Actually, it's running really slow, but that's really interesting in slow motion, huh?
Yeah, so this is her.
Oh, that's Bodhi. That's kidding. Okay, this is 2 weeks after. Okay, my cousin is laughing because she's there to try to make sure I don't overdo anything. And she's videotaping me. And you can see I kind of look like a hoarder in a way. I laughed this because I couldn't walk. So everything had to be at my fingertips. So it's a whole new outlook on how people are when they can't move, and not to be judgmental about older folks who keep their tissue boxes and, so there's my wheelie. That's a wheelie, by the way, guys, so.
Well, yeah, that's great, Jill. So what I want to tell people about is your whole journey of where you started. When you had this accident, the doctor told you had to have surgery.
Well, I said, no, I'm not having surgery. So I said, that's not the route I want to go. And my kids are like, Ma, you got to do something because it was getting bad. So I'd been on LifeWave patches, the power of this patch, and all of them. There's more to come, right? I've been on them for 2 years at this point, and I decided no surgery. I'm going to have my own body take care of this. Now, can I say the cell word? Probably not with an S in front of it. So I thought, well, I have a pretty powerful bunch of cells in me that were created by copper peptide GHK. That's a good way to put it. Very
Yeah.
powerful person inside of me that makes my biological age not 65. I'm 65 by my birthday, but I'm about to take my test with my telomeres. I can say that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
We
so
just want to say that this doesn't heal, treat, or cure anything. We
nope.
just want to say that what happened with Jill's body is as a diver, she had an accident and they wanted her to have surgery. And she said she didn't want to have surgery, but you ended up having the surgery, right?
I ended up, but what I did first was pull my own
Yeah.
those power of the patch, the cell
Yeah,
things
yeah.
out. I had them put back into my lower back because I had decided to have surgery. I just have to say that I have a teenage kind of blood in a way, and that my own body healed itself at my lower back. So I became like my lower back is back to being very pliable. I elected to have surgery by a very wonderful surgeon named Dr. Jimmy Chow in Phoenix. He does something called a super path. And I took him my storyboard and I said, I'm a dive master. I rollerblade. I've been, ski. I used to water ski. I'm probably, more snow ski now. And, I had horses. I got to be able to go back to my life. And it's been a long time. I haven't even run. I could barely walk. I haven't run in 2 years. So I showed him my storyboard and he said, let's get your life back. So I ended up with surgery on March 28th. That's almost May 27th this year was my 4.5 year marker for the power of the patch. So this is going into almost 3 years of these patches. I had them on my body during the surgery. He let me keep them on. I was actually under a knife for a full hip replacement for 40 minutes flat. I lost just a couple of drops of blood, according to my report. And the anesthesiologist came in and spoke to my kids and said, your mom is really interesting. And they were all freaked out and said, why? And they said, because the Dr. Chow has just started the operation and then she just went like this. And in 40 minutes, she's done. I woke up so fast and they commented that I was very fast to wake up. And when they wheeled me back to the room, I said, may I go to the ladies' room? So they said, sure. So I started to get up and they're like, wait a minute, we have to put a belt around you. So I walked they gave me a walker, but I walked and went into the ladies' room without anyone helping me. Came out, and for like 3 hours, I'm sitting there like just talking to the nurses and going, can I just go home? Why should I be here? And they're like, oh, yeah, like, I
How many
guess.
people have that type of surgery and then they get just asked to go home? I mean, the body
Doesn't
heals
happen.
itself. It's so
My
amazing.
body. So here's the wild part. I had no, okay, so he gives you pain medication prescription. And my kids are like, Mom, I'll go fill them. And I go, please don't do that because that's my money. I'm not going to take them. They go, but Mom, what if? I go, no, 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 no. I said, I have patches on. I'm good. And anyway, the fun thing is I'm pretty much a law of attraction girl. They couldn't fill the prescription at 2 different pharmacies. So I had zero pain after my surgery, after walking out that night, zero pain, never pain ever again. And I am a double patcher, I'm a triple patcher. I do have a regimen, but I'll say this. I lost the walker in a week. I lost the
Wow.
walker in the house and thought, oh shoot, where did I leave that? I ran in a week. My surgeon said, but I said, well, I just wanted to test it. So in 1 week, I had to see him again. I walked in and he said, I knew you were going to do that. I'm like, nothing going in my body. This is just my infrared light reflecting back a message, goes to my brain, make copper peptide, GHK. I make something
Wow.
that heals my own body. Zero pain. We're going back to the zero pain. In 2 weeks, that film, that little video was made. It's on YouTube. It was 4 weeks later, I was working at Child Help, which is a child abuse organization. I work with the charity Child Help here, and climbing all the stairs. I have that in my other video. And here's my big deal though. My dive buddies told me that they weren't going to cancel a dive I had planned, that I thought there's no way I'm going to dive, but I'd planned that for a year in Saba. So I ended up asking my surgeon, and he said, just listen to your body. So I, on my birthday, which was June 27th, it was 13 weeks after surgery, I backflipped off the back of that boat in
And that was the
Saba.
story that I've been sharing with everybody. That picture,
Yes,
the beautiful picture of you in that backflip. I was just like,
that backflip.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
That's it. It's this is the craziest. I'm the biggest miracle I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I know I've seen miracles because I do, but I was doing 5 dives a day, 5 days a week. And I just can't get enough of myself. I just learned to surf. So it's this, I had the surgery March 28th, 2023. This is November 2024. So in August of this year, I was surfing in Honolulu, Kauai. And somebody said, "Oh, you're surfing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've really not been on a surfboard. I was a lifeguard in Virginia Beach and Virginia." And I'm like, I tried to surf on someone's board and it seemed like it was tilted down. I'm like, how do you do this? But I was surfing like these new boards. I was like so
You weren't just
excited.
boogie boarding, you were surfing. That's
Oh,
great.
I boogie board. Yeah, I love yeah.
So a lot of
Well,
people are
my
inspired
world had
by your,
changed.
yeah, a lot of people are inspired by your story, Jill, and I want to send out your information so that people can contact you. So there's going to be podcasters that are going to want to get your story, I'm sure. So send out your information on how they can get a hold of you if they want to ask you questions and things. But the power of the patch has been so important in people's lives and the lives that we have seen in our customers and people that just they don't want to go out and do a whole lot of business, but if you just share this, I feel like it's criminal not to share this technology. I'm not a huge salesperson, but I do like to share something as beautiful as this, and your story is so inspiring. So yeah, send out your information so our viewers can check you out on YouTube or give you a call if they have any questions. Because there's people out there that are saying, well, you had surgery and then 13 weeks later, you're diving. Like, if you could do it, I could do it,
Mhm.
right? So, yeah, share that with
That's
them.
right. And the funny part is none of us wanted to do the business. And that was the part, that's the part that you just shared, because we just wanted to share it. But guess
Yeah,
what? That ended up
share the
being
love.
like, that was crazy. So it's actually a pretty nice business, to be honest with you. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the faces on the people that I patch when they say they had pain. I patch them, and I had a little nickname for a while called the pain whisperer. So I love to patch people at our parties. I kind of travel around the US. I've been in other parts of the world of patching people.
And what's so cool,
But
Jill?
that's just it, is you just
Yeah,
want to share.
yeah. So the
What's
other
that?
day, I patched somebody on their ankle, and the next day they woke up pain free. And I had told them, you might be a one
Mhm.
patch wonder, but you may not. You just never know because 50% of people see results in the first, um, you know, patch, and then 50% people don't. You have to try it for what? A month for however old you are. That's what David Schmidt says. He says that
Yes.
your things didn't happen overnight. Like you diving and you rollerblading and you being as active as you were and having your back, injured, that doesn't happen overnight. Those things deteriorate over time. And so
Oh,
what
no.
what
Well,
happened is that it rebuilt itself. The body rebuilt itself, and
but
it's just amazing.
I got to tell you, I hadn't run in 2 years. I couldn't run. And
Oh,
that's what I'm saying is just wildly enough, in 1 week, I ran across the floor. In two
ah,
years, I couldn't run. But that's why I say, like, people do have stories like mine. Everyone is different. I just happen to have been like that. And so my story gets really crazy. And I would love to inspire someone to have the hope. Because if you see my pictures from before with the cane, and I thought I wasn't going to dive again. I had so little hope. I didn't give my email. My email is patchtothefuture@gmail.com. That's a good way to reach me, mostly because my kids said, "Mom, that's a really good name for your email for that." And I had to go with it since that's kind of a Back to the Future thing. So patchtothefuture@gmail.com, and I'll get right back to you. But I just want to reach out to people and give hope. I have to say this though. So the X39, this particular patch, when you wear it for 3 months, it's 90 days, the copper peptide GHK in your body. That's what you need after 90 days to start your body to understand what it's really doing for you. You do feel things right away. And certain things do happen to you, like changing 4,000 geno over the like within 10 to 20 minutes. It's the most amazing thing you can do for your body. And I'll never stop. And so I'll see you as Benjamin Button. And when I'm 80, my kids are like, Mom, when you get to be a little old lady with the gray hair, I'm like, honey, is God bless. I know, but it's just not going to happen. I don't know. I got this dark roots going and all this
old
stuff.
hair is
And,
starting to come back. That's what happened with
um,
her the black started coming back. She goes, well, I haven't really seen too
yeah.
much when she first started, but she said, look at this. She's like, my natural's starting to come back. And I'm like, yep, that's usually what you see, or sleeping. And tell us how important it is to wear it 12 hours on and 12 hours off to activate your own body's
Okay.
GHA copper peptides.
It's very important that you put them on in the morning. It's a 12-hour thing to have your body activate what's going on. And so if you think about it, when your body is developing whatever it's going to do with this X39, and I could sit here and read everything off if you like, it's sitting in front of me. But when you take it off, you give your body a chance to use what you've started in your body at night so that it can like utilize the power of that patch. Not to mention, if you wear something for 24 hours for months, then
Constantly.
your body gets used to it, huh?
And what about our animals? I have a beautiful Yorkie that uses the patch, and his eyes were starting to get cloudy. That cloudiness has gone away. He had a cyst on his back, took him to the vet, and the vet just released it with a little needle, and it was gone. And he's never had another one again. So we can use the patch after we use it and put it on our animals. And it helps our animals
We
to
sure
regenerate
can.
their body.
Oh yes, it's been my Bodhi, the one that's in the video. Bodhi gets patched, but I a lot of times I patch it with new patches. I know people patch after they take their patch off. The next day they put on their animal, but Bodhi, he gets something called the Y age because he's my I'm like heavy patch girl. So Bodhi gets patched. He gets the Y age, and my daughter is she's a nurse and she is a patcher, and she patches her baby too. Like, and she said, well, I said, well, what do you have on Bandit? Because they're half brothers. And she said, well, today we have Eon and we have X39 and glutathione. Now she puts the leftovers on because she's my daughter. So I got to help her out here and there with the patches. But yeah, the animal, oh, I patch my plants. I've patched my plants,
I know
which is
I
why.
did the frequencies is the
Yeah.
future. And so
Mhm.
I did actually put the old patches that I had in my plants. And I did see that they grew like 3 or 4 feet taller. So
It,
that
yes.
is huge.
Yes, and like I'm gonna plug Life a little bit too, because not only did I just put these patches on for all these years, I followed David Schmidt gave a certain amount of vitamins, minerals, things to build a cartilage. I actually put my question into a webinar and he actually answered it. I said, "How do you build cartilage?" And good Lord, thank you. He put what to take, and I actually did. But when you're, as my surgeon was saying, if anybody who has a hip issue, okay, when you're grinding away at a cartilage, how are you supposed to build it? So I look at it that the other hip was getting the benefit too, because most people get one hip fix and then they have to go get the other one. Well, guess what? My other hip is amazing. So I contribute all my patches, all my vitamin taking. I am a juicer. I'm not a red meat eater. I hate to say I'm a diver, but a pescatarian. I do not look at a flounder when I see them in Hawaii and go, "Oh my gosh, you're as pretty as my dinner plate." I do not say that. And I'm a friend of the lobsters. A lot of these marine sanctuaries, you cannot touch an animal, but the you can, I stick my finger out and there'll be a little lobster comes up and,
But
and
what is
plays
really
with-
interesting is David uses the lobster to do the research. And I'm not going to get all scientific, but it's pretty cool. If you want more information on that, you can go to YouTube and check out David Schmidt, our CEO and founder of this amazing Power of the Patch. And Jill, it's been really great having you on today. We have about 8 minutes left in the show. So, anything else that you want to share? Like, are there other people that it's just so great to be able just to help people, right? Just to be able to,
it
I patch
it,
and pray and patch. I pray for people. There's a
yes,
lot of people out there that are hurting. They don't know about this technology. And we want to talk about the fact that it is non-transdermal. So, and
it's
talk a little
non-transdermal.
bit about
Yeah.
the fact that, when you're in your 30s, you've lost over
Yes,
60% of things that help build your body that we need in our body. And
yes,
when you're in your 70s or your 80s, you've lost all the ability to fight off disease and illness. And so, what
yes,
we're working on to help America get healthy again.
yes. And there's another thing. See, on that note, I noticed, like, when I was having my own stem cells taken out to put them back into my own
That's
body,
okay.
something that
That's
my
all
own
right.
body made. Ah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my own body. So, there are other people that are older that are doing the same thing as I am in their 80s, and that company was very proud of that. And I said, "Oh, so you're putting 80-year-old
Yeah. And
back
also
into
too,
it?"
they're very expensive. I mean, it can cost 17, like you said, to $20,000
My,
have
yeah,
that
mine was
procedure
12.
done.
I centrifused my own for
Yeah.
12,000, but I gotta say, I would do it all over again for my lower back. If I tell people like that was the best thing I ever did, but I was on LifeWave. Without LifeWave, I don't know that it would have lasted. I got, I,
Right,
when you
because when
see my
people have
video,
those procedures done, you don't know that it's going to last because what does it do?
right.
Bill, it goes to the area that is damaged the worst.
Mhm.
That's what the power of the patch is. It goes to work the area that's worse. So like in my case, I got hit by a school bus in 2020 and they found a mass and I created my own program to heal my own body because at the time there wasn't no way I was walking in a hospital, right? In 2020. So I guess what I'm saying is that it takes time for that to happen, for that to rebuild. And it basically, my body rebuilt the organs that I needed to rebuild again in the last 4 years that I've been on this technology. So wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree with
I
that?
do. I have to say though, I just have a little thing about we need time for our bodies to heal. I will say this as soon as my son keeps texting me over and over. My cute little son is packed and ready to go to Brazil. He patches too. But can I show you 13 weeks after my surgery what happened to me?
Yeah. We
All right, as
tried to
long
share
as my
a video, but it didn't work.
I know.
Oh,
How's
that's
that?
your beautiful dive. Yes.
That's Saba, June 27th, my birthday. It's 13 weeks after my surgery. And so
Wow.
I'll have that up on my new website, so that I'm able to share my story, because I'm doing my own website. I work a lot with the patches for restoring health through a lot of sports injuries. A lot of my friends have had COVID, so they've got brain fog. So a lot of my friends have certain patches for helping to their body to heal from other things like that. So we all have plans, and I'm not planning on getting off this. It's 4.5 years for me, and I plan on doing this the rest of my life.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to
I'm about
retire
in
with
my
this.
5 years coming up that I've been wearing them, and it's just been an amazing journey. And so, anyway, so what are you looking forward to in the future with this company? We are going to help so many millions of people. We went from 30 million in sales, and guys, it's not about sales, it's about helping others. But we are almost at $1 billion on one
Right,
patch that was
right.
created to help the world to heal.
But
And
this isn't so, but Carrie Kay, no one buys a Band-Aid. They can go to Kroger for that, or Fry's, or Publix, wherever you go. This is something that is working for people, and that's why the company is where they are.
amen.
So it's a testament to the company, and also giving God that credit.
Yes.
So, which David does, and there's a lot of us who are God people here. So we're all changing the world with that. I think so. I went surfing for my first time at 65. And where am I going with this company? Well, my dad was he was a water well driller in Maryland. So he was about water. And we had a place in Deep Creek Lake, Maryland, called Leatherberry Fantasy Resort. We had 3 freshwater springs. David Schmidt's putting out a water machine. Do you know how important that is to me?
Ugh.
I'm excited. My credit card is
I'm
ready.
so
So
excited. So you
yeah.
can dump a regular glass of tap water into this
Yep.
machine, and it creates a glass of water that literally, when you drink it, and I'm not going to use the heal word, but people
How
are seeing so many amazing results from that.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
coming up. And then we have the supplements. Don't even, we can even mention the supplements that have like 10 different supplements in each package, the
Yes.
AM and PM of the Cellugize. And I took
Yes.
it when I was in Dallas, and it knocked out whatever I had in my immune system from being running from hurricanes for a month. I had my immune system was down really low, and I'm telling you, I felt like $1 million. And I came home and
Uh-huh.
cleaned up all this hurricane stuff and got on the
Oh
plane in
gosh.
Dallas. So
Well,
uh,
I gotta say, I took them and I was partying there. So I was partying. I was still partying. I was up late
yeah,
and
hey,
up early.
yeah.
And all of those vitamins are the ones that David Schmidt says he says to take it. I've been taking them, and then this has been my result. And now they're in a package because it's a lot from my cabinet, but I still did it, and I still would.
It's gonna
But
save
now
us
it's
money.
in a package. What's that?
Yeah. And it's going to save us money too. So, with just one
Yeah.
minute left in the show, Jill, I want to thank you so much for being my special guest today, talking about how you had a passion to get back to diving again. And you had to believe that something this powerful was good for
Mhm.
you, and that it would put you back where you were. And on your birthday, you were able to experience that. So, we just want to thank you for being on Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show, and we appreciate you. I would love to interview you in 6 months from now and see what else is going on. And you
Sounds
have a
good.
blessed day. God bless, girl.